Yep, here's today's task. 2008 Mercedes E350. Two jobs to do today. One, change the transmission fluid and filter. Two, replace a donut on the prop shaft. Let me show you. Okay, first you need to support your transmission as I am doing there. You do it however you need to do it. Don't just do it on a jack. And yes, this is a jack, but it's got a locking bar on it and it's locked. Then you're going to need to undo these two. Now you could undo the bolts here, but I want to undo these two because it gets this thing out of the way. And then we undo these here. You can say I've already taken some out. They're all 16mm. So let's get those off and get this bracket out of the way. Okay, so there it is. Now, here's a fun thing. This piece, which has got the split in it, which I'm going to repair. What? Why repair it, Gary? Why don't you just buy a new one? Apparently, according to Mercedes, if you want to get this piece for this model of vehicle, you have to buy the whole prop shaft. Yep, the whole fucking thing. What a fucking rip-off. So I'm going to get some, I was going to say super glue, some rubber glue, because this is, well, it's pretty hard rubber, I must admit. I'll see once I get it out, but I believe it's rubber because it's a vibration piece. And I will do my damnedest to repair it. It's got a few cracks in it, and whilst I was going to replace it, I obviously am not now. The one behind it has also got to be replaced, but I have that replacement, so that's not a problem. You will note with the mount, excuse me, the mount there are different bolts. Obviously the two there, I mean, it's fucking obvious, but just in case, those two there are the ones that go through the actual mount itself. And these little short ones, these 6 short ones, they're for the bracket up to the body. You will also note the mount is angled at a certain way, so you've got to make sure you put that back the way it should be. And it's obvious because if this is an angle. One thing that did surprise me is that oil leaked out of that hole there and that hole there. Not a much, you know, just a little dribble. The only thing I can assume is that some kind of chassis rust preservative, because you look at that little rubber bung and it seems to be seeping. And I know that's not an oil tank. So, yeah, rather strange that. So now this is solidly supported. Time to get my giant Torx bit and a spanner and hopefully get that off. Holy moly. What a fucked up design. But anyway, I'm hoping that once I've undone those 3, the prop shaft will drop enough. If not, then I will have to undo these other ones and bring the whole thing down as 2 pieces and hopefully miss this mounting bracket on the end. If that doesn't work, I will have to remove this bracket. I hope I don't have to do that, because if I've got to move that, then I've got to disconnect the brackets that are on the exhaust. We'll see. I can't actually film me doing this. So, well, I'll show you when I've got it off, if I've got it off, and how I got it off. And there's nothing like getting it off. Right. Ah, boy. Oh, and, I can't show you now. I'll show you when I do the transmission, fluid change. Well, that's gonna be such fun. Oh, God, you have to get it to the right temperature. And all right, we'll deal with that in that next video. This video is just purely replacing this and repairing that little baby up there. All right, let's get on with it. Now, before I remove too many bolts, you will see that I have marked the transmission the coupling or there's the vibration damper and the prop shaft itself. That you should do, because as you know, there are weights on the prop shaft, so the prop shaft is balanced, and I like to keep everything back where it was when I took it off. So that is why I've done that. There's no point in me marking this donut because that is being replaced. This one isn't being replaced. I'm just going to do my damnedest to repair it. Once I get it out, I'll be able to see how rubbery, flexible it is, or if I need to put something more solid and rubbery in, or I don't know. Once I get it out, then I'll figure it out. I can't remember if I've mentioned this already, but they wanted to buy, yeah, in fact, I'm sure I did. They wanted to buy the whole fucking prop shaft just for that joint. Fuck off. Now, as you can see, these bolts are different lengths. And, excuse me a second, I just want to point out that the washers on these bolts go there, and the washers on these bolts go there. This is the nut, and that is the nut on this one. These ones are the ones that secure, hang on, sorry, that secure this. The ones that secure this are these ones, okay? And the nuts, sorry, the washers are in different places. I'm not quite sure why, and maybe if I think about it, I'll figure it out. And yeah, figured it out, because here is a big chunk of metal, and on the other side is the rubber bush sleeve. Okay, so that's why it's done that way. Now all I got to do is get that one more out up there. Well, in fact, there's two. There's one for this, and there's one up there for this one. I'm hoping if I take this one out up here, oh, sorry, hang on. If I take that one out up there, the shaft will drop, and then that will allow me to get to the other one. If not, what I'm going to have to do is put the car in neutral and turn the drive shaft, prop shaft. Shaft. No, that was the wrong thing. Oh, you know what it is. Right, let me see. Okay, as you can see, I've got it off, and you really do need to take this mounting off. It just makes it easy to get the big donut pieces out. Now, I'm not sure if I've mentioned it, so I'm going to mention it now. These, hang on a second. These bolts, that is a T60. You will need a T60 socket, or whatever you want to call it. It's not a socket, is it? It's one of them things, T60. You will also need a 18mm wrench to get on the nuts that go on the back. These bolts were, hang on, what were they, Gary? Excuse me. Oh dear. Sorry, my brain's not working. They were a 13mm, and the other number you'll need, if I can see it, is an E12, and the E12 is the bolts that go in here for holding that bracket. You can obviously undo these if you want. I started to do that, and then I realized it was just going to be a real pain in the bum, because I had to crawl out and get I think it was a 13mm wrench. So I just undid those instead. I'll clean this end up before I put it all back together. So I've got my marks. Everything seems to be okay. Pleased to see that there isn't really any leaks up here. Now it's a matter of doing the repairs, and let me take you up to the bench and let's see what I've got to do. Okay, here we are on the bench. So here is the replacement rubber piece for this. This is really a vibration damper, as it's called. I can't really see a part number on it. There's numbers on it, but they don't seem to relate to anything. The rubber's got pretty hard, but it's still holding, and it's still holding quite well. So I have some rubber glue, and that is what I intend to do. I'm going to clean this up with brake cleaner first of all, and then I'm going to fill all of these cracks with rubber glue, and hopefully that will then take that vibration out. Now I can't say I noticed any vibration, so this is probably still doing its job, but I don't like the cracks, so I'm going to replace it. And as I mentioned many times before, there is no way I'm buying a whole fucking prop shaft just to replace this piece. You've got to be fucking kidding me. There are other ones, and the only thing I would say is if this internal piece is the same, the external piece doesn't really matter too much, but you know, you do need to be able to get through these holes. Typical bloody Mercedes overkill. Nobody else does this that I'm aware of. So I'm going to get this cleaned up now, glue it all up, let it set overnight. Then tomorrow morning I'll put it all back together, and then I will be starting on the transmission fluid drain refill, filter replacement, etc. That will be in the next video. You will see no more on this video. You know, it's the same old shit. Put it back. You know, you took it out, now put it back together, and that shouldn't be difficult. It's a little tricky, it's a little fiddly. You've seen the mistakes I've made. Hopefully you've learnt from them. I know I have. Hopefully I will never have to do this again, but if I do, at least I know what shit I got to take off. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Please do like, comment, subscribe. Tell your mum, your dad, your brothers, your sisters, your girlfriends, your boyfriends, all to subscribe to my channel, because it really does help me. And then that means I can keep pumping out these crazy videos. So now, get out in that workshop, get out in that garage, go do some shit.